a minute. Who's this? It's Sam Van. Sam Van's back. I did a 5-part series van tour on Sam Van. It was my 3rd Humble Road build. Sam's been out in the wild for about 18 months, and now he's back for his Tighten Up. It's supposed to be the annual Tighten Up, but Sam stretched it another 6 months. The annual Tighten Up it's in our contracts. A Humble Road van is entitled to come back to the shop every 12 months or so, and we do the Tighten Up. We do the Tighten Up. What that means is we go in the van and we check all our workmanship. The 80/20, the nuts, the bolts, everything that we do or create in-house is guaranteed for the life of the van by Humble Road. So this is considered an integrity visit, okay? We don't charge for this. We just make sure everything's running the way it's supposed to run, year after year after year. However, during that visit, if you want any modifications, any new features, any changes, this would be the time to do it. And boy, does Sam have a list. Let's go look. Sam's got a few modifications he wants done. One of them is in the shower area. We did an incredibly innovative job of hiding the shower until Sam needed it. Now, if you want to take a shower, the first thing you do is you raise up this floor and you lift the toilet out of the shower pan. And we built this toilet box as light as we possibly could, and Sam is able to move it without any problem. This whole area becomes his shower, and this mirror is on a French cleat. So that comes off. You see the French cleat there. Take the mirror off, and that reveals all your shower controls, right? In a waterproof box with a little shelf. There's plenty of room in here for your shampoos and all your whatnots and so forth. This shower pan goes all the way under the armoire, and your shower curtain hides back there. That's where the shower curtain lives. You come all the way around 360 degrees, and you're here for your shower. Sam has already used it. He says he loves it. Well, it turned out Sam didn't really need it all that often. He preferred to shower at Planet Fitness, a campground, friend's driveway, whatever. He didn't need this shower area. So we did a conversion. What you see here is where the shower box used to be, and there was a little cabinet here with shelves and a safe box. And we had his Wi-Fi Ranger behind a panel right here. So what we did is, first step, we removed this shower box. Alex did a beautiful job building a waterproof shower box. Sat right here. It had his diverter right here and the shower head, right? We covered it with a mirror. We had a nice mirror framed in walnut here on a French cleat. You lifted the mirror off. It gave you access to your controls. But before that, you didn't know you had a shower here. So Sam didn't want to shower anymore. So we left the piping. We're going to cap off the piping. And of course, simply we shut off these zones. So now there's no water coming over here, just in case the next guy wants to bring the shower back. We can do that simply. In the meantime, John made a beautiful shelf box insert. The screws are rattling around in there. But this is the replacement now. And of course, we've got edge-banded adjustable shelves that are going to go inside. Put them wherever you want. I think, yeah, we gave him 2 shelves. Again, we're going to get that full mirror in a door. So you'll have this nice recessed framed mirror that hinges this way. So he'll get his mirror back, and then he's got all this storage now, dry storage. Very nice. And as you can see on the side here, yeah, let me move you over there a minute. Hold on. Helicopter. Oh, there you go. This side panel, the side of the shower box, and now the side of this new cabinet, this is where we positioned his Wi-Fi Ranger. This all sat behind a secret panel. Let me show you. Oof, it's a little heavy. But the point I want to make here is how we design and build everything so it can be removed relatively easy. See, now that would fit back in there. This fits in there. This is existing with a little lockbox down here. So that goes back there. Where's my little, here. And we have our little switch for the Wi-Fi Ranger. So I make those connections. See these flange tongues? So all we do is we set this in here and tap it over. In it goes, and you're back in business. Now, obviously, we have to tune this in a little tighter so the reveals are all the same. But that's how we build. We design and build in a modular fashion so that this kind of a move can be made fairly easily. So as I said, Sam's been out for 18 months or so, out in the wild, all over the place, mostly in the deserts of Arizona. So he comes back here, and one thing that amazed me is every single drawer just closes perfectly. They're still balanced. I don't know why I'm surprised, but I was surprised. I was pleased. The next project, so now no more shower. We're going to leave the shower pan in because we could never get it out. We glued it down. And as I said, it's got 3 drains, so it's got 3 nice big holes in the floor of the van. We'll leave the shower pan down. And I ordered more of this flooring. Now, rather than just add another floor top and cover it with the flooring, we are going to remove this altogether and make one brand new panel here, one brand new floor panel, so we can grain match the floor, right? Start with the fresh flooring from a different lot number, and we'll cut it in the center. This one will hinge open this way, and this half will hinge open towards the outside wall. So Sam will have this 4 inches, 4.5 inches or so of storage, dry storage, okay? And then we'll seal off the rest of that shower pan area over there. Shower curtains out. We're going to paint the wall to butch it up a little bit because it doesn't need to all be white waterproof anymore. So we're going to give it a nice beige color to make this area warmer. Beige will go really nice. It's a Benjamin Moore color called Putnam Ivory. You've heard me talk about the problem with Max Air fans. Max Air fans, when they're running and they get more than 13.2 or 13.5 volts, whatever it is, the motherboard craps out. This is not practical in a van or any automobile for that matter, because as soon as you start the engine, okay, you're pushing 13.5, sometimes over 14 volts, maybe close to 15 volts through your system because of the charging routines. Well, this motherboard, when I guess 13.2, 5, whatever it is, craps out. Now, Airxcel has been pretty good about sending out new motherboards, but it's a hassle. Melissa from Minnesota goes all the way back with her brand new Mini-Me, and her fan craps out. So they sent her another motherboard, and through photos and texts and emails, I directed Melissa from Minnesota, and she replaced the motherboard in that Max Air fan. Kudos to her. Expanded her wheelhouse of knowledge. But it's a hassle. So, as a matter of practice now, I will always include a voltage regulator on every Max Air fan we put in a new build. And I put that voltage regulator in the back with all the other electronic components. Easy to get to, easy to service. In existing vans, such as Sam van, number 3 Humble Road van, I have to use a little bit different voltage regulator. It's smaller, and it allows me to gouge out some of my foam insulation and peck out some of my thinsulate, and I can wire this up and tuck it right in here. Out of the way. Doesn't get hot. You know that because we tested it in the Humble Road laboratory. Video here. Another little issue we had is, I don't know where, I don't know how, Sam ran over something, a rock, a curb, I don't know, but he bent this whole running board, the driver's side running board. He got it all bent out of whack. So I ordered new brackets, I ordered new material, and I figured we were just going to redo this whole thing when he got here. Well, it turned out we were able to repair this existing rack. We took the brackets off, we straightened them on the jig inside, we put everything back together, and at that time we decided that we should have added a 5th rail in the back here. We only had these first 4, and there was a big hole here, a big gap. So we added 1 more of these in the back, and it looks a lot cleaner now. This is a Humble Road exclusive, these running boards. And since we were in running board mode, we came over to the passenger side and we added another rail back there. It looks a lot nicer now, much fuller. It's easy in and out on a Humble Road running board. Sam had a Starlink installed at his home base in Arizona. He wanted to take it on the road in his van. So we ordered one of these brackets for Starlink on Amazon, and we modified it to fit right back here in the corner of the van. And we ran our wires up to the antenna on the roof. And we have a little inverter back here that we use to power his power lift bed. There's one more plug on there. So we're going to put this Starlink into that little baby inverter. So he could take this from his home base in Yuma and he can stick it right on that little rack and take it with him on his trips. In my original build of Sam Van, I had 2 Victron Orion DC to DC chargers mounted back here with 2-aught cable running from the battery all the way down the van. That gave him 30 amps and 30 amps. Sometimes they run at 35, so he had basically 60 or 70 amps of charging power. And Sam took a shakedown cruise to Hershey, PA. When he came back, he said, I don't like these Victrons. They're not enough charging power. I want that Nations alternator, and I advised against it. And the reason being, if there are thousands of those Nations alternator conversions in ProMasters out on the road, there are dozens who have this issue where that Nations alternator, because of its positioning, the new fan belt will cut a coolant hose on your ProMaster. And it happens. It happened in Vagabonds twice. It happened to Sam twice. Anyway, he gets back from Hershey. I pull the DC to DC Orion chargers out, but I left my wiring and I left my fuses up front. We tucked the wiring away. We installed the Balmar alternator with the, we installed the Nations alternator with the Balmar voltage regulator. Sure enough, the coolant line got cut twice in Sam's travels. Now this is over thousands of miles, but it does happen. Second time, he said, I've had it. No more of this. So what we're doing now that he's back is I'm reinstalling those Victron Orion chargers. The wiring's here. I just have to pop the fuses in up front. These are 30 amps a piece. Sometimes you get 35 amps of charging out of them. So he's going to be running with 60 to 70 amps of charging off these Orions while he's driving. Meanwhile, his 600 watts of solar up on the roof, I had those running in strings of 300 watts, parallel, down to solar controllers, 2 solar controllers. So what I'm doing is I'm changing those to series. I'm still going to maintain 2 separate strings of 3. So 300 watts in series down to 1 MPP controller, and the other 300 watts in a string series down to this MPPT. So I added this. I made a new bracket. I added 2 new solar controllers. I took Sam's old 30 amp solar controllers out, and we will use them in other builds in the shop. So now he's got his Orions, he's got his new solar controllers, and I had the room to mount those here. This is the beauty and wonder of 80/20, is that at any point in time, we can reconfigure, we can add to, adjust. I love it. Absolutely love it. You can't do that if you're welding. So we'll put a nice little cover plate right here in the pre-finished maple, and he still maintains his storage here and underneath. Another slick little project we did for Sam is this 80/20 garage shelf unit. This is going in Sam's garage, dead center, and it's 2 slide out trays, full extension, so they will come all the way out of the van. 2 of them, they're locking, right? Of course, they have our signature walnut edge on pre-finished maple. He's got a lot of bins. He's full-time. Sam is full-time in his ProMaster van, his Humble Road van. And he's got a lot of bins in the garage stacked up. And it's a pain. If he needs to get to the bottom bin, he's got to move 2 out and then get the... So now he's got single stacking, and he can open any drawer and get at what he wants. And we left the bottom, we left this space, so he still has that floor space on the van. He could put a folding table in here, a couple of camping chairs. So we've really maximized the space in his garage, the vertical space, and it's easy for him to get it. The full extension, they come all the way out and they lock. I would show you what it looks like in the garage, but I'm here alone today and I don't want to try to lift this by myself and ruin it.